Right, everyone, back to the 5th gen madness. Squeeze by here. Let's see. Well, there's what we're working with. That's the supercharger coolant reservoir, degas bottle, whatever they're calling them nowadays, but I'm not sure. Just the coolant reservoir. And I'm also going to do I think I've decided on the Center Force SST clutch kit, and not really sure, never had one or used one or know anybody that's used them. But I did talk to them at Center Force, and they said they have one in a 5th gen shop car that makes about somewhere around 1,000 horsepower, and it's been beat on for years. So, and it's rated for like 925 torque. Should be somewhere in that area that's going to mesh with what we're putting in it. Hopefully. We'll find out. And looks like we got our work cut out for us. A little dusty in the car. It's been sitting for almost a year. Hard to believe that. Just kind of put it on the back burner and forgot about it. Here's the engine. It's a 407 cubic inch LS3 based, fully Ford Cali's rotating assembly, forged. Engine, so with a ported out stock LS3 head port, but they're ported in by us right here, and then the supercharger's also ported by me. We're not sure on what throttle body to upgrade to, but I'm thinking of probably a Nick Williams 103. I would like to find something around a 105 because it's ported to, the opening on this snout is ported to a 106, and I did that for a 105 Granatelli, but I started hearing some bad things about them, so I shifted gears back toward Nick Williams, and so I'm not sure who was competitive with that, but I've heard good things about the NW throttle body, so I think we'll just go to a 103. And I did upgrade the stock balancer to an Innovators West 10%, and I was going to go 15, but I didn't want to start messing with the water pump because it would have had issues with clearance, and there was something I didn't want to get into on that. It was unnecessary, I think, for a couple pounds of boost. We're running a 250 upper, which this one's slips, so we're going to go to a Grip Tech and maybe a 245, just a slight change to spin it a little bit harder, but those pulley ratios now it's almost maxed out anyway, so it's not going to matter if you go any bigger on the lower or smaller upper, because the superchargers have a max RPM for their efficiency, so kind of wasting your time and creating unnecessary heat when you don't need it. Definitely don't need it in these things. Not a lot to tell because it's all sealed up. Can't really see a whole lot. a lot going on inside of it. Fully studded, ARP head studs, ARP main studs, been line honed. And BTR stage 3 torque cam. Stayed with it. It works good. It made good power. We were hitting almost 800 wheel horsepower on a stock motor with that cam. So we're gonna see what it'll do, you know, with the bigger engine. So hopefully it works out pretty good. All right. Hopefully I can follow up on this video once we get the clutch and start moving things around and put this engine in. I got to do an oil cooler, relocated oil cooler. I just don't trust that factory setup that shares the coolant. So I deleted that, and we'll be using a G-force unit for it, and that's about it for that as far as going in. And then yeah, the next video on this we'll try to get as much content as we can and share the process with everybody, so that way, you know, anybody wanting to learn how to at least install the engine in one of these cars, a 5th gen Camaro, they can follow along and like, subscribe if you want. That'd be cool. And I wish I would have got the video on removing it, but the circumstance where I had to, back when I did pull the motor, we didn't have the time and to really get any content on it. So, but I'll definitely do a step-by-step on everything, and even how the supercharger's wired up on it. And so it may be a series of videos, but I'll do as much detail as I can as far as how to route everything, the heat exchanger, how I plumbed it, everything. So that way, you know, somebody wanting to do an LSA conversion on the 5th gen, you know, I'll show them where I've got my, you know, the supercharger parts, the pulleys, everything. So I could also put a link into once we start doing those videos. And yeah, I think it'd be pretty resourceful for anybody wanting to at least just put an engine in the car, change their engines, pretty simple. And then, or definitely for the supercharging, and also show you with the, and we're going to do a lot more to the car too, where we'll show you how to, I think I'm going to either do, we haven't decided on the fuel pump setup yet. I don't know if I'm going to do a, I think it's a DSX, I think, or something like that. Probably correct me if I'm wrong, but an auxiliary pump, and I'll install that. Thinking of that, or just going with a 4 Innovations hat style right in the tank. But for budget purposes, I may do the DSX auxiliary, and then I'll show a very detailed install on that too. And also, I want to put more emphasis on the gas tank because it's plastic, and a lot of guys, I see them just drive a step bit in there, throw some gunk on it, and a fitting. But I'm going to show you where and to get, and also how to install a bulkhead fitting where it's all the way through and it tightens on the inside as well, so creates a better, more proper seal. So that way you don't have to worry about that thing dripping in your driveway or dripping in your garage from just, you know, plunging a step bit in your tank. So, not saying anything bad about the guys that's doing it, but it's kind of a, to me, it's basically a lazy way of doing it, because you still got to put the bulkhead fitting in, you're going to have to take the tank out. And it's not too bad. I did this one myself when I put the ZL1 pump in it, and completely 100% by myself, and without any help. It took me about a day to do it, and it wasn't that bad. And that was without a lift too. So So it was challenging, but possible. And then later on, we'll be doing other things with the car, to like axles and possibly a one-piece aluminum drive shaft in it. We'll definitely have videos as far as the clutch and things like that. That's useful content for people just wanting to, you know, install a clutch in a car and the bleeding process, things like that. So should be fun. Until the next one, you guys take care.